Yo, what's going on? It's your boy, Mr. Locario, the bad boy of the dating game. What's good? So I got an email from a subscriber, and the subscriber sent a donation. So thanks for your donation. And remember, guys, if you want to guarantee that your question will be answered, make sure you click the link below and send a donation. So this one says, hey, Mr. Locario, I want to address the last video you made about having game. I agree with you that game is very important. And if you don't put yourself out there and put in work in conjunction with skill and strategy that you learn from your bad boy membership and videos, then it will be almost impossible to get women. And I see that now as I am putting in effort and I am starting to see results simply by just making shit happen. But what I want to address with you is the following. If a woman does not feel you are attractive, and being attractive doesn't just mean your physical attributes, but also your attire, your weight, your hairstyle, etc. The fact is she is not going to fuck with you. To put it another way, your physical looks and appearance is part of your game. The reason I know that is women have told me that if a guy is ugly and they use the word ugly, they will not even talk to him or even dare him, and they are cruel as fuck with their comments when talking. I've heard this from women. Now, this has nothing to do with me personally, but I like the way I look. My issue is my game has been fucked up due to my lack of communication skills, but I'm getting better, but it's still sort of fucked up. I'm just way too quiet, and that is why I haven't done well with the ladies. And I get looks from women all day, everywhere, and I say that very humbly, but many women check me out, and I'll be the first to admit to you that I haven't had a date, let alone a girlfriend, in fucking years due to being too quiet and shy. But my point here is women want a guy who is hot or as close to hot as possible. Just like guys want a woman who is hot, it's sort of the same shit almost. So your looks do matter. And I've heard you say throughout all these videos, all this time I've been listening to you, that looks don't matter. I hate to beat a dead horse, but could you please explain to me and everyone else specifically why you feel looks don't matter? When you yourself said you used to model, and in my opinion, and it's quite obvious that one of the reasons why you do get women is because of your looks. Now, I do understand that your game is on point and that that is another big reason. But do you really think if you were a fat 300-pound dude who was out of shape, who wasn't a model type dude like you say you were, like you say you were, that you would have had the same success with women? Everywhere I go and every woman I see women checking out certain guys and ignore certain guys. If looks didn't matter, then why is it every time I walk into a club and I see women check out the tall dude who is in good shape, who is clean cut and supposedly handsome, and the dudes who are like whatever, who aren't like that and don't get the attention? And I'm not hating on nobody, but I'm seeing this in front of my eyes all the time. I really, and I mean really, see a dude who is sort of like a nerd with a hot girl, unless that dude is super rich, is tricking, or is famous. It just doesn't happen at all. Now, if a dude is so in looks and has great game, then yes, he can get women, even though he might not be super hot. Please explain. All right, so basically, you kind of answered your own question, right? Because the last thing you said that if a dude is so in looks and has great game, then yes, he can get women, even though he might not be super hot, right? So that basically, you're just basically saying the same thing I'm saying, is that the looks don't really matter. You see what I mean? Because if he's not that good looking, or the chick doesn't think he's that good looking, he can still get the girl. Also, you answered your question again, where you said that, you're, I guess, a pretty decent looking guy, or women check you out, so obviously they think you're physically attractive, but you're saying you're having trouble getting dates and communicating, and this is why you haven't had a date in a while and all this other stuff. So if it was all about your looks, then how come you're not getting dates? You see what I'm saying? Because this is the thing. Let me break this down again for you guys to understand, right? See, the reason why a lot of you guys have trouble understanding this is because you don't understand attraction when it comes to women. You understand? You're still thinking with your male mind. Now, what I want to, let's back this up, because I think certain guys are not getting this, and maybe this is my fault for not explaining this clearly. So I'm going to try to explain this extremely clear in this video. I don't know how long this video is going to be, but I gotta go in. Okay. So what you got to understand is this. If a person sees something that they feel or, that they see as physically attractive, right? So if a woman sees a guy and she thinks he's physically appealing, meaning when we talk about looks, I'm talking about, just the way his face looks, how he was born. That's what let's stick to that, because there's a difference between looks and appearance. So we're talking about looks, how this guy naturally looks. So if a woman thinks this guy naturally looks good, right? And she's she thinks he's attractive. And even let's say she's probably attracted to him just based off of those looks, right? What happens is that she just thinks he's cute, right? So what happens is that just because she thinks he's cute, that doesn't automatically mean that she's going to have sex with him. Do you see what I'm saying? See, you guys, you think that, just because the chick thinks the guy is good looking, that automatically means that she's going to have sex with him. See, you're thinking about that way because you're thinking with your male brain. Because if you've seen a woman who you thought was good looking, you're like, oh, I want to have sex with her because she's good looking. She's good looking. I want to have sex with her. I want to have sex with her because she's good looking. Simple, right? But for women, it doesn't work that way. You understand? And in rare cases, a woman might see a guy and she thinks he's cute, and then she'll end up having sex with him because literally in that moment she's horny and he's there. Or usually it's a chick who's younger, like 18, 19-year-olds are up on that type of shit. And even them, sometimes it still has to do with more than just the looks. You see what I mean? So what you got to understand is that a woman, the way that she looks at it is like this. Imagine you, and I wrote this in a comment earlier today with this other dude, because he was like, oh, it's, you got to understand that there's this thing called passive game. And if the passive game is your looks. And if you look good, then this is going to happen and that's going to happen. Right. And so I said that to understand how women attraction works with a woman is like, let's say you were looking at a whole bunch of houses. You're looking to buy a house or looking to buy a few houses. Right. So you see the outside of the house, right? You're on the lawn. You see the outside of the house. The real estate person comes to you and says, "Oh, we have this house here," and then you're like, "Oh, this house looks really good. I like the way it looks." But you just see the outside. You look at the outside of the house. The outside of the house looks beautiful. The outside of the house is physically appealing to you, right? But do you just buy the house just based off of how it looks outside? No, you end up going inside the house to see more about the house, and then you make a decision. Do you understand? And this is how women operate. So the thing is that even though a woman thinks you're physically attractive, what happens is that she still needs to know more. And that's where her whole thought process of if she's actually attracted to you at the end of the day comes from. See, a woman's attraction for you, right? A lot of times what it does is that it happens, where she sees you and she's like, okay, yeah, he's cute, but what else? And that what else is her going into the house to see. And then she makes a decision. So this is why you can have a guy who's good looking and then the girl talks to him and then she's like, oh, I'm not feeling him anymore. See, you guys think that just because the guy is good looking and then she's like, oh, let me talk to him because he's good looking and that's the end all be all. You see what I'm saying? That's not what it is. Because for a woman, her pussy needs to get wet based off of how she feels when she's around you. So if her pussy's not getting wet, then it's a wrap. And her pussy's not going to get wet just based off of, oh, because you're cute. It don't work that way for women. This is what I'm trying to tell you guys. But see, y'all don't get it. Y'all don't understand this. You see what I'm saying? I'm trying to sort of, let you guys know this. Now, let me take this to another level, right? And I said this before, and what you got to understand is that looks are subjective. So my error in trying to explain this to you guys is that when we talk about looks, what you guys do is that you probably have a picture in your mind of what a good looking guy is physically. You understand? But what you got to understand is that since looks are subjective, that means that almost any guy could be good looking to a woman. You understand what I'm saying? Because if you look a certain way and she likes that type of look, then to that girl, you are that good looking guy. You are that hot guy. So basically, almost any dude, unless he has like a fucking super deformity of something like that. If you have two eyes, a nose, and a mouth in the same place as almost everybody else, right? You could be good looking or that hot dude to certain women. You understand what I'm saying? But this is what guys don't understand. Unless you got like one eye and one ear and you look deformed, that's one thing. You understand? I could understand a guy saying, damn, my looks are fucking up my shit. I'd be like, all right, cool. I get that. You understand what I'm saying? Like, it's going to be a little bit harder for you because you only got one eye and one ear. You feel what I'm saying? I understand that. But if you got two eyes, a nose, and a mouth in the same fucking place as everybody else, you understand what I'm saying? There's going to be certain girls who are going to be into you. You see what I'm saying? And so the thing is, you might have a guy who certain women might find more physically appealing than other guys, right? Just in general. But then you're also going to have women who, find that guy who's physically appealing to a lot of women. There's going to be women who don't find him physically appealing. So let's say you have a guy who walks into a place and there's 100 girls, right? And let's say out of those 100, 35 of them think he's hot. You understand? Or let's say 40 of the guys, of the women think he's hot or whatever. So you got 40 women who think he's hot, 60 that don't. Right? Then you got another guy who comes into the same place. You got 20 women who think he's hot. Then you got 80 women who don't. Then you got another guy who comes into the place. You got, 50 women who think he's hot, 50 women who don't. So what I'm saying is it all varies, but each guy that came into the place has some women who think he's hot, has some women who are physically attracted to him. So when I say that the looks don't matter, what I'm saying is no matter how you look, there's going to be girls who are going to be into you and there's going to be girls who are not going to be into you. And even if the girls are not into you, you can still holler at them because it's not only about looks. Do you see what I'm saying? Because that guy that comes in there and let's say 20 girls think he's hot and then 80 girls don't think he's hot. He can still get one of those 80 girls who don't think he's hot. And the funny part is that same guy who has the 20 girls who thinks he's hot, he could go up to one of those 20 girls who thinks he's hot and still not get her because his game is not on point. Because she's going to be like, oh yeah, he was cute, but, you understand? The but is there. But he was whack. He was boring. His conversation sucked. He said this thing that I didn't like. All of that shit goes into play. You understand? So you got to understand that the reason, the only reason that you need to be concerned about, the whole looks thing and looking good and all this other stuff when it comes to, a chick finding you physically attractive is if what you care about is a woman finding you physically attractive. Because you're saying to me, you're like, oh, Mr. Locario, you modeled and you did all this stuff and all that other craziness. And yeah, there are some girls who, they were physically attracted to me because they liked my type. Then you have girls who they're not physically attracted to me. You understand what I'm saying? And they were like, hey, Mr. Locario, blah blah blah, And I've said this before where chicks will say to me, hey, you're attractive, you're cute, but you're not my type. They literally said this. Literally said this. So they're saying, hey, I think you're attractive, but I'm not attracted to you. So you're going to have guys who women think are attractive, but they are not attracted to him. Then you're going to have guys who women don't think are physically attractive, but they are attracted to them. So on one aspect, a woman, she's going to be drawn to you because of your looks, right? But the reason why I'm saying that, why I try to champion the whole looks don't matter thing more is because even though she's attractive, even though she thinks you're attractive and she's, drawn to you because she thinks you're good looking, if your game is not on point, She's not going to want to fuck you. Again, she's not going to get wet, and she's not going to be able to have sex. Dude, let me tell you guys something. Have you ever tried to fuck a chick with a limp dick? Or can you fuck a chick with a limp dick? You can't. Why? Because your dick is not hard. So even if a chick is physically attracted to you, she's like, oh, he's a good looking guy. If you start talking to her and you say some dumb shit, or you act all goofy, or the way that you interact with her is turning her off, that means she can't get wet. That basically means that's the female version of she can't get hard. So she can't fuck with you. You see what I'm saying? But see, that's the thing that y'all don't get, because you keep thinking about this through the eyes of a man. You're like, oh, well, if a guy sees a hot girl, then why wouldn't a hot girl want a hot guy? And you don't understand that you're not living life as a chick. And chicks don't operate like that. Like, did you ever see a hot chick you wanted to have sex with, and then you said, oh, I was going to have sex with her, but then she said this dumb shit? I don't think that most dudes have been with a chick, and because she disagreed with something he said, he didn't want to fuck her no more. I'm sure it probably happened once in life, but I don't think that's really happening out here in these streets. But guess what? That happens for women. So a chick, she can see you, think you're cute, think you're attractive, and all this other stuff. And then you do something or say something. Now she doesn't feel comfortable. Now she's just not into it anymore. And now she doesn't want to fuck you. See, again, you guys think the good looking equals sex. Why do you think that? Because you're thinking about it through your male brain. And you're not thinking about it when it comes to how a woman operates. Because this is the thing, on a biological, natural type of level, women on a subconscious level, what they're doing is they're checking for a guy overall to basically see if they're attracted to him. See, a woman really saying that she's attracted to a guy has to do with everything overall. See, you can see a girl and see her physically and say, oh, I'm attracted to her. And you're like, I know I'm attracted to her. Like, she's bad. I want to have sex with her. I want to put my penis in her because I'm attracted to her. Your attraction to the woman is purely physical, because you as a man, you're looking for those physical attributes to plant your seed in. You understand what I'm saying? So that you can have healthy babies. What the woman is looking for, she's saying, okay, this guy, what can he do to provide and protect for me and my babies? Oh, is that sexy chiseled face going to protect and provide for me and my babies? Do you understand what I'm saying? This is on a subconscious level. So when you're talking to girls and you're interacting with girls, they're looking at the whole picture. For a lot of women, if you're cute, if you're attractive, you understand what I'm saying, physically, or you have that look that, that they like, you understand what I'm saying? That's the thing that is the bonus. It's like the same way if you meet a hot chick and let's say she is a doctor. That's a bonus. You're like, oh shit, this chick is bad and she a doctor? You understand what I'm saying? But you didn't need for her to be a doctor for you to want to fuck her. You understand what I'm saying? So the same thing is for women. For women, it's, oh, he's cute. But she didn't need for you to be cute for her to be attracted to you. Because her attraction comes from her feelings about you overall. See, this is hard for, and this is the part that's crazy, because your success. Okay, I gotta tell you some real shit. Your success with women is going to be, based off of your understanding of this. If you don't understand this, your success with women is going to be minimal. Because if you're a guy who you think, or you think that you're not that good looking and girls don't like you because of your looks, then you're going to not really fuck with a whole bunch of girls. You're not going to really talk to them. You're not going to really be interacting with them because, you know, right now, you know, you writing this email, you're saying, well, oh, girls check me out, but, you know, I haven't really got anything going. I'm too shy. I'm not really talking to them. You understand? And you're so concerned and focused on women checking out other dudes and, oh, she thinks he looks good and all this other stuff. And you're so clouded with your thought process about this subject that you're not really taking action. You understand? This is why I be trying to explain to dudes that, you know, the looks don't really matter like that. Because if we say looks matter, right? And actually looks do matter, and it only matters based off of if that girl thinks you are good looking. But if it's only based off of that girl thinking you are good looking, right? Then the looks don't matter really, because what happens is that you're going to have certain girls who are going to say this guy looks good and this guy doesn't look good. You understand? Or they're going to say that same guy, they're going to have one guy. They're going to be like, this guy, I think he looks good. The other girl's going to be like, I don't think he looks good. The other girl's going to be like, he looks good. The other girl's going to be like, I don't think he looks good. And this is the same fucking guy. Right? So there's going to be women who don't think he looks good. There's going to be women who do think he looks good. You understand? Then, now let's say again, let's start with the girls who do think he looks good. Now he approaches the girl who do thinks he looks good. Now, if his game is shitty, then he's not going to get her, even though she thought he looks good. So does it matter that she thought he looked good? No, because he's still not fucking her. You're going to have that same guy approach the girl who doesn't think he looks good, right? Let's say if his game is not shitty in this situation, and even though he's not her physical type, right? And his game is on point, now she's attracted to him, and now he's fucking her. So even though she doesn't think he looks good, he still gets to fuck. So it doesn't matter that she thought he didn't look good. This is what I'm trying to get you guys to understand, because in either situation, it can go either way. Now, if a woman thinks you look good and your game is on point, then that's awesome, because now the game is on point and it's a bonus that you look good. Right? Now, if a girl thinks you don't look good and your game is shitty, it's basically a wrap for you, because your game is shitty. And on top of that, she's like, well, I don't think he's physically attractive. You see what I'm saying? So it goes, you got to understand that how this shit goes. But the reason why, I like to say that it doesn't really matter is because since the looks are subjective, you're going to have so many different women who are going to be into so many different things. Right? But see, when we talk about this whole looks thing, what guys do is that, again, they think that there's an archetype of what is good looking and an archetype of what is not good looking. And so they think that they are in that section of the not good looking, and there are other guys who are in the section of the good looking. But what is good looking or not good looking is an opinion. It's an opinion. You understand? So yes, if you want to say looks matter, you can say that, and you would actually be correct. And then you can also say looks don't matter, and you will also be correct. I've said this plenty of times. But the reason why I keep saying, don't worry about the looks don't matter, is because for you guys out there who are so concerned about looks, or you think that, your looks are holding you back, I'm trying to say, fuck that shit. It don't matter. You can still get that girl. Because look at it this way. Look how fucking crazy this is. Think about this. You might be in a club with me. You see a girl across the room. You think she's hot. You want to go and approach her. You think that she's not going to like you because you think that you don't look good. Right? But you don't even know that girl, she might think that you look good. You might be her type physically. So now you're stopping yourself because of what you think she thinks, and you don't even fucking know her. You understand? Because you're thinking about, oh, it's all about looks, and you think that there's a certain archetype of good-looking guy, and you think you don't fit that criteria. So now, again, you're not getting with that girl because of your thought process. And again, like I said earlier, if you do not understand this game, you're not going to have success. And you're not having the success because you're not approaching her because of how you think about the whole game. Now, let's do the same scenario. Let's say you see that girl across the room and you want to get at her, but you're like, oh, well, she's not going to, she's not going to think I look good or whatever because I don't look good and all this other stuff, right? And let's say you're not her physical type, right? But let's say you go over there and you talk to her and you're interacting with her and you're saying some interesting shit and she's flowing with the conversation and she's starting to feel you. You understand? And that all happened because your game was on point. So it didn't matter that you weren't her type physically. You understand what I'm saying? And also, you got to understand something. Just because you're not a woman's type physically doesn't mean she doesn't think you look good. Because a girl, again, like I said earlier, a girl can think you're attractive and you still might not be her physical type. Just like women, they came up to me, yo, Mr. Locario, you're a very handsome guy. I've heard this so many fucking times. You're a handsome guy, but you're not my type. You understand? All of this shit. I heard women, they come, oh, you're attractive, but you're way too young for me. I had a chick last night say that to me. I was at a party and the chick, and she wasn't even she was like 42 or some shit, but she was bad as a motherfucker. And I'm just talking to her and she's like, oh, you're really cute, but you're too young. And this chick was just not having it. You see what I'm saying? So it's all these things that's going to stop you from getting from point A to point B. Now, again, if you guys care about being pretty and cute and you want girls to think you're pretty and cute, then we got an argument here. Then it's like, yeah, looks do matter. Because if you want chicks to think you're cute and shit, then looks do matter. But if you want to fuck, if you want to get your dick wet, it doesn't matter. Because you can get your dick wet whether the girl thinks you are physically attractive or not. Because at the end of the day, what grabs her is the feeling she gets when she's around you. So the feeling she gets doesn't really have to do anything with how you physically look as far as how you were born and your face structure and all that. You see what I'm saying? That shit is a bonus, just like the same way where a woman being a doctor or a lawyer or having some, a prestigious fucking, job or whatever doesn't dictate your desire to fuck her. You understand? You will fuck a hot chick working at McDonald's before you fuck a goofy ass looking woman who is a vice president of Viacom or some shit. You feel what I'm saying? Because that's how you're designed as a man. But a woman will fuck a goofy ass nigga who's the vice president of Viacom before she fucks a pretty boy who works at McDonald's. You understand what I'm saying? But again, y'all don't understand that because y'all don't know how women work. Dude, look. Most of the game that I learned was from guys that most people would say are not good looking dudes, right? And another point I wanted to bring up too is that because, I've been online and shit and I've been seeing dudes, on message boards. I've been seeing dudes' comments on the internet, about this whole looks thing. And especially when it, pertains to me and shit. And I was looking at this video that He Didn't Succeed did the other day. Jesus Christ. Where and he had a whole video. He was in a car with his boy or some shit. And they were talking about me and they were talking about looks and all this other stuff. And he's like, oh, Mr. Locario is an 8 on a scale of 1 to 10. And that's why he got girls. And oh my God. And I'm just like, really? And you guys need to really, seriously, you guys need to stop with this whole judging dudes all the time. First of all, that's one thing. But he's like, oh, Mr. Locario's an 8 out of 10, and that's why he's getting girls, right? Now, if you scroll down the comments of that video, right, which is hilarious, a whole bunch of dudes is saying, what? Mr. Locario is an 8? Fuck out of here. Mr. Locario's ugly. He's a 6 at best. He's not that good looking, right? So again, what I'm talking about is playing out right in front of your face. Because if we say the looks matter, and you're saying, he didn't succeed as like Mr. Locario's an 8. Then the people in the comments are like, Mr. Locario's a 6, or he's a 4, or he's ugly, and all this other stuff. So which is it? Am I an 8? Am I a 4? Am I good looking? Am I ugly? What am I? You see what I'm saying? It's subjective. Right? So let's go with the example of me being good looking, right? So if it's all about looks and I'm super good looking, right? Why am I getting rejected? If it's all about looks and I'm this good looking guy, why am I getting rejected by women? How come some women don't want to fuck me? How come some women, they say, give me the run around and flake and do all this other shit? If I'm so goddamn good looking, how come I'm not getting chicks, from certain situations? How come? I'm good looking, right? It's all about looks. How come I'm getting rejected by certain women if it's all about looks, right? Now, let's go with the thought process or the example of Mr. Locario's an ugly motherfucker, right? If I'm ugly, how the fuck am I getting girls? How am I fucking all these girls? How am I getting my dick wet every week? How do I have a wife and a girlfriend and I still fuck other girls? How am I doing that but I'm ugly though, right? So how is an ugly motherfucker like me getting chicks if it's all about looks? Because I'm ugly, right? I mean, I shouldn't be getting girls. So the funny part is that the whole looks matter camp, they're quick to say, oh, Mr. Locario is ugly, but by you saying I'm ugly, you're proving my point. By saying looks don't matter. Because if it did matter, I shouldn't be getting no pussy because I'm ugly. You see what I'm saying? So either way you put it, you're right. So you can say looks matter and you can say looks don't matter. Because if you say looks matter, it's like, okay, well, there are certain girls who thought I was the 8 or the 9 or whatever, right? And then they probably were like, oh, I'm physically attracted to Mr. Locario. So there are certain girls who are probably physically attracted to me, right? And then when I'm chilling with them and I'm interacting with them, they wanted to make something happen, right? Then there were certain girls who are physically attracted to me, and then for some reason, they didn't want to fuck with me. They gave me the runaround. They flaked. They told me straight up, hey, you're handsome, but you're not my type. Right? Then, let's say on the flip side, you had some girls who probably thought I was not physically attractive. Right? And what happened is that there's certain girls who probably thought I wasn't physically attractive, and I came up to them and I still was talking to them, interacting with them, all this other shit. And then they actually wanted to fuck with me based off of the fact that I created a certain feeling in a situation in order for them to want to make something happen, even though they were probably not physically attracted to me. Because just like you guys are saying in the comments, oh, Mr. Locario is ugly as shit. So imagine a girl who had the same thought process as Mr. Locario's ugly as shit. Right? And she's like, oh, well, I'm not physically attracted to him. But then I go up and I talk to her and I interact with her and then she wants to fuck with me. And then you have women who, probably weren't physically attracted to me. And I'm interacting with them. You understand what I'm saying? And shit could have still not go the way I want it to go. So you got all these different variables of how shit can go, because either way you put it, right? You can use any excuse that you want. But again, the reason why I'm trying to explain to you guys that the looks don't really matter is because if a woman still thinks you're physically attractive, that does not equal to you having the situation go the way you want it to go. You understand? So if you have the thought process of thinking, oh, all I need to do is be cute and the world is mine, everything's going to happen, all panties will drop because I'm so sexy. Dude, do you guys, oh my goodness, it's so funny because you're like, oh, what if a 300-pound guy or a fat guy, do you guys know who David X is? Look up David X. David X is a fat, funny-looking, middle-aged white dude. And that dude has heavy game. That dude fucks a lot of chicks. So for all of you guys who thinks it's all about looks, please do yourself a favor and look up David X. Please do yourself a favor. Another thing. Have you guys ever heard of a company called RSD, Real Social Dynamics? One of the main guys on there is a dude named Tyler. Do you guys know who Tyler is? And Tyler is a beast with the game. Okay? He's a fucking beast with the game. Like, I've seen this dude in person. He's a beast with the game. Do you know how Tyler looks? Tyler is a balding white dude. Wait, like he's you would, if you see this dude on the street and didn't know who he was, you would probably think this guy gets no women based off of your thought process of, oh, it's all about looks. And you can't use the excuse of, oh, because Tyler has a lot of money because he has this company. No, when he goes into a spot and he's hollering at chicks, these chicks don't know who he is. These chicks don't know that he has a lot of money and that he has a successful company. He's just some bald dude, acting how he acts, and the chicks gravitate to him. Why? Because he got game. You understand what I'm saying? So there's so many examples of dudes who are not the best looking dudes who are getting chicks. In fact, a lot of the dudes in RSD aren't like great looking guys, but they get chicks. I've seen the dudes in action in real life. In real life, just like actually there in the spot, in the club, in the bars. I've seen them in action. You understand what I'm saying? Because, I'm not a big fan of the whole, infill video shit, because I always like videos could be manipulated, but I was seeing them in person, actually doing shit, just standing back and watching. And I was like, okay, these dudes is the real deal. And these dudes are not fucking supermodels. In fact, one of the dudes, I think his name is Luke or something. The dude is a fat dude. And he's out there getting it in. You see what I'm saying? So, I just gotta, I just had to, just elaborate a little bit more. Of course, I'm probably gonna have to do this type of shit again because, it's not gonna sink into guys' heads. But, that's pretty much it. Listen, if you guys have any questions, make sure you click the link below and I'll holler at you later. Remember, the truth is inside you. Peace. I'm gone. Now, before you turn off this video, make sure you click the link below to get the Mr. Locario 30-minute game session. Now, this is a private one-on-one coaching session between me and you where we chop up game for a half an hour. So make sure you click that link below to get the Mr. Locario 30-minute game session. Hey, what's up? It's dating and life coach Mr. Locario. Go to badboymembership.com and master the dating game by joining my Bad Boy membership program. In this program, you'll receive 45 to through 90-minute, easy-to-follow, step-by-step dating advice tutorials that's guaranteed to help you attract, date, and have sex with beautiful women. Join the Bad Boy membership today by going to badboymembership.com. That's badboymembership.com.